Come on down to Smokin' Joe's Crack Pipe Emporium and get your free drug paraphernalia. Make sure to ask for the Hunter limited edition crack pipe so you can feel like an overly pampered, privileged white man while becoming incredibly high. We have pipe and smoking kits of every shape and size to fit your smoking needs and make sure you feel that racial equity. Don't forget the needles and syringes in convenient shareable packs of 100. We're here for all your getting high needs. Just come on down, man, to Smokin' Joe's Crack Pipe Emporium, located at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. Just look for the big White House. That's Smokin' Joe's Crack Pipe Emporium for all your getting high needs.
The opinions voiced on the Raw are those of the hosts and the callers and not necessarily represent the views and opinions of KTOX and Ruben Broadcasting or its advertisers. The opinions should be considered as the ramblings of raving lunatics.
You're listening to The Raw with Henry and Miss Raw, brought to you by Pirate Web Radio Productions, Ruben Broadcasting, along with KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream, fuck you!
Fuck you!
Wear your mask, take your pills. Now a whole generation's mentally ill. Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Dime does it, and they call him racist. We the people. Let's go, Brandon. We the people.
Oh, and holy cow, it is that time again. It is a wonderful Tuesday evening here in the heat of the Mojave Desert. Oh, my God. 122 it topped out today here at my little old tiny home in Bullet City, Arizona. Oh, my God. It's absolutely freaking torturous out there. Henry will be joining us a little bit later. He is at a city council meeting because he's a city councilor. And, he's off doing his elected duty, to police the city of Needles. I'm kidding. He does not police the city of Needles. Matter of fact, for a politician, he makes very, very little. Matter of fact, the Needles City Council, including the mayor herself, only get $12 a year for being a city councilor or mayor of that town. So yeah, that's quite inexpensive. Yeah, very, very inexpensive. Anyway, 928-476-0331 is the number if you want to join the conversation. We're going to be talking about a variety of things tonight. We're going to be talking about Project 2025 and what that entails, what that means. Is it something you should be afraid of, or is it something that you should just freaking mock the hell out of Democrats about, or just something you should ignore altogether? We'll be talking a little bit about that. And of course, taking your phone calls at 928-476-0331. We're also going to be talking about a law in California that has been getting some pushback on. It is a law that is designed to make it a stiffer penalty for people who sell children into prostitution, or people who purchase children in prostitution get. You'll also find out tonight how lackadaisical that law is currently, and you will not be surprised at all whatsoever of exactly who is fighting this law, which just absolutely perplexes me. It really does. I'm not kidding. We're also going to be talking about also another child predator, a guy by the name of Chase Garvey, who went on a shooting spree and wounded, killing 4 people, wounding 3, and then killing himself at a birthday party. We're going to be talking about him tonight. We're also going to be talking about K through 12 school shooting database, who did a story on this that completely discounted the fact that, this Chase Garvey guy was a sack of shit. And instead of, blaming him for his actions, they're going to go ahead and blame the gun and say that, guns should not be around at all. Anyway, 928-476-0331, 928-476-0331. Now, like I said, we're going to be talking about Project 2025. And it is a paper, more or less a book. It's about 800 and some odd pages long of policy ideas brought forth to you by a foundation called the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank. They have been involved in a bunch of questionable things in the past. But essentially, they're a think tank and somebody just puts out ideas for the Conservative Party and tries to get them either put into law or put into policy. But according to them, okay, it is not enough to win elections. We're going to rescue the country from the grip of the radical left. We both need a governing agenda and the right people in place to carry out this agenda out on day one of the next conservative administration. So this is their goal. This is the goal of the 2025 Presidential Transition Project, aka Project 2025. This project will be built on 4 pillars that will collectively pave the way for an effective conservative administration. Now, like I said, remember what I opened with. That Project 2025 is solely the ideas and solely the crap put forth by the Heritage Foundation. While there are some Republicans that think that's a great idea, there's also other Republicans. It's a horrible idea. Not even former President Trump, who is the front runner in the next election, has signed up on this, saying, "Hey, this is a great idea." Matter of fact, he said, "I don't support it at all." And yet the left goes on and tries to use this as a bludgeon against Republicans and other people by trying to tell them, hey, this is going to take away your rights. This is going to turn women into the caricatures of women that I don't know, in that damn stupid ass TV show. Somebody tell me what that TV show was. Where they wear the red dresses and the hoods and the cowls. I don't know. It will make it legal. I've heard it will make it legal to execute LGBT people in the street. This is how far off base they're trying to make this. 928-476-0331 is the number. Let's see. Maybe one of my thank you. Handmaiden's Tale. That's right. Handmaiden's Tale. My listeners are totally awesome. You guys are great. Love you. But I've heard every everything in under the sun. It's a policy that allow the next president to lock up anybody that disagrees with them. No. It doesn't do any of that. Essentially, this is the project team. Paul Dan, Spencer Cretton, and Trump Hemingway, all Heritage Foundation employees working on this. Two of these people used to work for the Trump administration before they got fired. Go figure. And we'll be getting to that. But what it does is it's set up to as a wish list of policies that they want to have happen. Now, the actions of the liberal politicians, this is what their website says. The actions of liberal politicians in Washington have just created a desperate need and the unique opportunity for conservatives to start undoing the damage the left has wrought and build a better country for Americans in 2025. I'll tell you what, where have we heard this one before? I mean, nearly word for word from from the current administration. Oh, we need to build a better America for Americans. It's not enough for conservatives to win elections. We're going to have to rescue the country from the grip of the radical left. We need both governing agenda and the right people in place to carry this agenda out on day one of the next conservative administration. This is the goal of the 2025 presidential transition project. The project will build on four pillars that will collectively pave the way for an effective conservative administration policy agenda, personnel training, and a 180-day playbook. The project is the effort of a broad coalition of conservative organizations that have come together to ensure successful administration begins in January 2025 with the right conservative policy recommendations and properly vetted and trained personnel to implement them. In other words, their people, the people that they approve of. And we will take back our government. The 2025 Presidential Transition Project is being organized by the Heritage Foundation and builds off Heritage's longstanding mandate for leadership, which has been highly influential for presidential administrations since the Reagan era. Most recently, and they they pull out the big T word here. The Trump administration relied heavily on Heritage's mandate for policy guidance, embracing nearly 2/3 of Heritage's proposal within 1 year in office. Okay, that was his previous administration. And you guys really didn't do that much to back him up, did you? Paul Day is the former chief of staff for the Office of Personnel Management during the Trump administration, served as the director of the 2025 Presidential Transition Project. Spencer Creighton, the former special assistant to the president and associate director of personnel, serves as associate director of the project. Like I said, two former Trump employees that, well, they went to die. One of the things to consider when you're looking at a policy guide or papers that are being published by a think tank like the Heritage Foundation or the Lincoln Project or any of the 1001 policy generating places. Take a look at who works there. These are failed bureaucrats. These are bureaucrats that cannot get back into lawmaking or back into areas of influence and have to do so from the outside through lobbying and hoping and praying that whatever it is that they're trying to sell, somebody buys. And maybe they'll get a little credit for it so they can build on the next one. But this is it. And by the way, you can find this at project2025.org. I'm not going to read through all of it. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to read through a little bit of it. It's a dry read. It's a stupid read. And frankly, some of it is undoable. They don't, for instance, address wasteful spending on the administration and at the VA. They really, it's really nothing but a wish list of things that, like I said, some of them aren't feasible at all. Section 1, taking the reins of government, and it covers the White House office, executive office of the President of the United States, central bureau agencies managing the bureaucracy, the common defense. It has policies for the Defense Department, Homeland Security, the State Department, intelligence community, media agencies. It wants to take Agency for International Development, General Welfare, Department of Agriculture, Department of Education, and every other bureaucratic institution it wants to take control of, right down to financial regulatory agencies, to the Federal Communications Commission. Why would they want to be able to control the FCC? But it's right there. It's right there for you. But here's the thing. It's an 800-page monster that isn't worth the paper it's written on. It's only out there to be used as a tool to bludgeon other Republicans and a tool for the Democrats to gnash their teeth over and make up lies about. In other words, it's a paper tiger. It has no teeth. It has no basis in reality. It's not policy. And I seriously doubt that it would become policy. Oh, sure. I'm sure there's some tidbits in there that will be adopted. I'm sure that there's going to be a few little snippets out there that they can point to and say, see, the current administration took our advice and is running with it. Boy, what a big win. But overall, it's just a bunch of smoke and mirrors. If you have a different opinion, give me a call, 928-476-0331, 928-476-0331. I want to hear what you think about Project 2025. Is this something that we actually have to be worried about? Is this something that we actually have to make sure that we safeguard our children from it? Our governments, our wives, our children, our husbands. it's like I said, it isn't anything that you have to worry about unless somebody says we are taking this and we are going to apply it to every office under the president of the United States. Then maybe you have to worry about it. But once again, you don't have to worry about it because it's not going to be implemented. It's not even being actively supported. It's just being hyped up and talked about. I mean, holy cow, the Google itself has, been pushing this. Alphabet. They've been pushing it at people. And then any story that's anti Project 2025 has risen to the top for searches in Google. You can just take a look at your Twitter stream or your Twitter feeds. Hell, even this show right now, tonight's show, Project 2025, the myth and legend. This is getting talked about. And of course, this is exactly what they want. They want these kind of things talked about because these kind of things are nonsense. This takes away from the real conversation. This takes away from the real issues. It's amazing to me. We haven't even entered into either the Republican or the Democratic conventions yet. And we're already talking about who's winning, who's losing, who's staying, who's going. We both know that we all know the players involved, at least the three main players involved, which is, of course, Potato Joe, Donald Trump, and RFK Jr. They're the three major players. Everybody else is small potatoes. And of course, if you really want to piss off the establishment, I say vote Henry Longbreak, Mike Wallace for president. I like their motto. Their motto is at least one of us isn't retarded. I'd vote for that just based on that motto. You think I'm talking bad about Henry? I'm really not. But let's go to the phones. The Raw, you're on the air.
Yeah, why do the Republicans want to ban pornography?
I don't know. Do the Republicans want to ban pornography? Who's saying that?
That's what that Project 2025 says. They want to ban pornography.
Well, good for them. It has absolutely nothing to do with anything.
Well, you're gonna sign off on it, aren't you? You're gonna say, "Hallelujah! Bring on the Project 2025."
Actually, I'm say buy a copy of the book and use it for toilet paper or fire starter.
Or you could roll joints with it too, but
no,
there's
really.
a lot of
it's heavy paper. No, not a good idea.
Yeah, never mind. That was a dumb thing to say.
Yeah.
That was a dumb thing to say. I'm sorry.
It was an incredibly dumb thing to say, but that's all right. Like I said,
well, that's what I do. Though.
Vote Henry Longbreak, Chuck Wallace. At least one of you ain't retarded.
I don't know, and it's up in the air who that one is sometimes.
Like I said, at least one of us isn't retarded. But no, I'm not signing up on Project 2025. Nobody else is. It's only being used as a bludgeon. It's only being used as a bludgeon. I mean, I don't know how many times I've gotten hit with this question. Did you know that Project 2025 will make sure that transsexuals like you will be able to be murdered on the street? You're fucking out of your goddamn skull and go away with that shit. Well, don't you know that Project 2025 will allow white people to deport black people back to Africa? Excuse me? Go the fucking hell away with that bullshit.
People are so.
It is. Seriously, the only thing I haven't heard associated with Project 2025 is it will cure herpes or give herpes to you.
It gave me, just reading a little bit, it gave me more brainworms.
It gave you indigestion. I understand that.
I tell you what, this is, I don't know how much traction it's going to get, but yeah, this Project 2025 is making it's an alternative piece of information they're spouting off about, other than how they want to take part in figuring out how to get the hell of Joe Biden. I don't think it's going to happen.
And there's another thing. Okay, it's also detracting away from that conversation.
Yeah, well, hey, he did pretty good at NATO, from what I heard. He did a good job of talking.
You know what? You pump a person up full of drugs enough, and yeah, they'll do fine. I don't. You know what? I don't know. I don't care.
They probably should have done that to him last Thursday or whenever the hell that was.
They probably couldn't. They probably couldn't because Trump was threatening to make a drug test a requirement. If you remember correctly,
I would have just said no.
Then,
if I was the drugged out one.
Yeah, well, then the debate wouldn't have happened, or it would have happened, and Trump could have used that as a bludgeon.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's talk about some of the particulars about this. You mentioned the deportation of black folks.
Yeah, well, that's a fucking lie. Okay, it's a fucking lie.
Well, I don't know if it is. I don't know that, but I mean,
I do know that it's a fucking lie.
Well, I mean, it's constitutionally impossible to deport somebody who was born here.
That is absolutely correct. So that makes it a lie, and if it was in there, that makes that a double lie. Okay, it's impossible. It can't be done. You cannot authorize the murder of somebody based upon their race, their ethnicity, their religion, their whatever. Yeah, and it is the Lincoln Project that is saying that. That is correct, Carmel.
Oh, the Lincoln Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Lincoln Project is saying that Project 2025 will make it so that whoever's in office can deport black people back to Africa.
Is that an official act then?
I don't know. I just find it ironic. A project called the Lincoln Project, who fought to free slaves, would try to put that one over on us. Seriously,
those are the Paul Ryan, Liz Cheney type of Republicans that run that outfit.
No, that's pure left libtard, dude.
I don't know.
The Lincoln Project is pure left libtard. Yeah, there may have been some rhinos that signed on with it, but then again, there's rhinos that sign on with every goddamn dumbass idea.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's I don't know. When I first heard this about this, I thought about the project of the New American Century or whatever the hell that. What's his name? Darth Vader.
FDR?
That's right. No, it was a project to the New American something or another, and it had like crosshairs over the World Trade Center.
Oh, no idea. No idea. No clue what you're talking about. Oh, Dick Cheney. Fuck him. You know, you've heard my story of my familial relationship with the Cheneys before. Or
Yeah, they're from Wyoming, aren't you?
Yeah.
Or aren't they?
Yeah, they're from Wyoming.
Why do I get Wyoming and Montana always mixed up?
Because
it's like
because you're the retarded one of that
that's right.
political party.
I look up at the M and I want to say W.
That's
no,
okay. That's okay. But yeah,
it's an upside down. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Never, I'm sorry. Anyway,
but
your relationship with the Cheneys, I don't recall.
My family and the Cheneys have had a lifelong relationship. My father went to college with them. They were in the same fucking fraternity. Okay, they were fraternity brothers.
Was it like one of those Animal House situations?
I'm sorry, what?
Was it like one of these Animal House situations? Where it was,
okay, you know, I'm not even going to honor that with a what the fuck are you talking about, Chuck? But
Lambda.
Yeah, I understand. No.
Oh.
Had nothing to do with fictional movies. Had everything to do with they were fraternity brothers. They developed a friendship. They stayed friends for a long time. It wasn't until Dick Cheney got out of politics. Well, not necessarily out of politics, but went to the Defense Department, become the Secretary of Defense, where he changed. And not in a good way, in a evil overlord kind of way.
Yeah.
He went when Bush was defeated by Clinton. He then got out of politics for quite some time. He went and went to a company in Texas, an oil company. And they started a paramilitary wing that magically got contracts for the military, security contracts, supply contracts, transportation contracts, using, of course, all of his old contacts from within the Department of Defense.
Is Al Qaeda?
I don't know. Don't care.
Al Qaeda means the list in Arabic, but anyway, go
once
ahead.
again, don't know, don't care.
Thank
All right,
you.
don't confuse the subject. But
no.
But then, of course, after the Clinton years, it was Bush Jr.'s turn. Bush Sr. still owed Dick Cheney a favor. Dick Cheney was chosen as Bush Jr.'s vice president, which meant that Dick had to move back. Dick and his family had to relocate back to Wyoming because you can't have two candidates from the same state. That's why it's a good thing you're in Washington and Henry's in California.
So I got a quick question.
And then the real evil started to happen. Because his old company, shortly after 9/11, and shortly and very like right the fuck now, when the 20-year war on terror kicked off, his company got all the preferential security contracts, and then money started going missing.
Big contract.
Are you starting to remember this?
Well, the one thing, yeah, of course I remember. I just don't remember the name of the company, but that's really irrelevant. The bigger question that I have is, did Dick Cheney utilize that, what it was, Halliburton or something like that? Halliburton.
Yes.
Yeah. Did he use?
That's his company.
I know, but what I'm asking you, was it the same kind of usage of that company applied during Gulf War, or the Desert Shield, Desert Storm?
No.
Did they get all those sweetheart deals?
That
Okay.
didn't exist until after Bush Sr. Like I said, Halliburton, the security end of it, was an offshoot from an oil company.
Yeah, they were there doing operations when I was in, well, this was pre 9/11. I was in Macedonia in the summer of 2001.
Right.
And they had security there, if I remember correctly, and also at Camp Bondsteel in Kosovo.
Correct.
So, and the Chow Hall.
But that was the start of their shenanigans.
Yeah, the Chow Hall was all, gosh dang it, what is the name of that company? There's another company that we used to call them.
Yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
I have no
but
idea.
Anyway, they did the trout.
I have no idea, because when I was in the Army cooks cooked the fucking food.
Well, back in my day, actually, this is probably around 2005 or 2004, there was generals that were having open discussions and taking notes. And why do we have soldiers in an office doing office stuff when they could be out there doing gate guard stuff? So there was another transformation in the Army right around 2004, 2005, 2006, where they started to have less of these admin type support MOSs. And they just hired civilians to do all that stuff.
And here's the lesson that they've learned from that.
Even the military police.
Even police duties for the military police. Here's the lesson that they've learned, and they have been learning, that it costs them three or four times more.
Oh, hell yeah.
An outside company come and do what they could do themselves beforehand. But now here's the problem that they've gotten into. The military, the government, the Department of Defense doesn't know how to fend for itself anymore. Well, they don't have anybody trained to do that.
Well, they're in also a spot where they can't, get the proper amount of people to meet their quotas like they were prior to COVID.
Well,
and they're giving
that's a whole different kettle of fish, Chuck.
And they're giving re-enlistment bonuses that are just like, oh my God. I mean, $30,000 and shit like that, for it's ridiculous what kind of money you can make right now in the Army.
Well, yeah, like I said, this is peanuts, okay? But the thing is, all right, this is a Cheney operation. That was a Cheney operation. That was a Dick Cheney operation. His family made billions from it. His daughter Liz went into politics.
Yes.
She ended up being such a goddamn rhino. I mean, seriously, that the people of Wyoming, who are generally kind of, okay, fine, whatever, voted her the fuck out pronto. She didn't even get 25% of the vote. She got beaten that badly in her election or re-election.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's a windbag, has been on the sidelines, that can do nothing but, oh, Trump's bad, Trump's bad, Trump's bad. Trump's evil. He tried to kill us during January 6th. Trump's bad, Trump's evil.
He wasn't trying to kill us. He was just trying to kill you, Liz.
These are the fucking Cheneys. There has been nobodies. There Rich has been nobodies, but there has been nobodies. They're out of politics. They don't. All she can do is go on TV and fart and go, man. That's all she does. Her word means fucking nothing anymore. Her political career is over.
Well, I mean, she could. I'm thinking that she'll probably do stuff behind the scenes without being paid, or maybe she'll figure out a way to be a lobbyist or some shit like that.
Hello, Project 2025, where has-been politicians go to die.
You think she's going to advocate for that?
Why not? It's right up her fucking alley.
I suppose if they paid her enough.
It does. Honestly, it doesn't matter. She could be writing shit under an assumed name. It doesn't matter. Nobody fucking cares, because this is how much Project 2025 means to people in reality. Zip and Bupkis. Well, somewhere between Zip and Bupkis. I'm not sure what that is. A Zipbuckus.
It is fascinating. Now, who are the authors of this document?
A variety of people. A whole variety of people. I'm not even going to list the authors of the document. It's about 25, 26 different people. The three that I mentioned earlier are the ones are the ones that that headed the project. Okay, former Trump staffers, 2 of them which had gotten fired. Like I said, bureaucrats that have been sent to pasture to die.
Yeah, recycled bureaucrats that you're fired.
Yeah,
I don't want any Bush people in here.
Well, it's that's just the thing. Okay, you've got any of these policy centers. Okay, any of these think tanks. All right, they generate a tremendous amount of money being brought into them. They lobby their positions all the way around. And they still get money to do that. And they still get money to do this. Whether these policies or these bills, they even write bills. Even if these bills don't gain traction, they still get paid for it. It's a hell of a job to get if you can get it.
I think you should make the Raw think tank, an internet think tank. Okay?
Sure, Chuck. Sure. All right, man. I've given you enough time. I want other people to call in.
You have. I was hoping you were going to say that. I'm getting tired.
All right, man. Thanks for the call. Do appreciate it. 928-476-0331. 928-476-0331 is the number you want to chime in on this. What do you think? Is Project 2025 something of a paper tiger, or does it have more teeth than that? Do you think people will actually pay attention to it? Red comment says, emphasis on the dick in Dick Cheney's name. Absolutely. Absolutely. Kermel said this. I didn't get to it in time. Lincoln only freed slaves in states in rebellion, but they didn't know it. I think that became nationwide after certain amendments were jammed through. What do you think? 928-476-0331. Is this something that we should be worried about? Is this something we should even be paying attention? Hell, is this something we should even be talking about? Should we be giving these assholes any more attention than a quick, free bird? By the way, this is the run tonight. I'm not on KTUX tonight. I'm not on KTUX on Tuesday nights because, I like to have a freer environment where we can actually say what we feel, what we think. And if you want to be part of the program, you can just pick up the phone, dial 928-476-0331. And we can talk about that, or, we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'd kind of like to stay on the subject because, fucking Chuck, I swear to God, he gets me down these rabbit holes. and drives me nuts. But he does that. Oh my goodness gracious me. Oh Lord, who's sending me messages? No, not really. They're lying to us. The only thing addresses is things that are harmful to vets, lumps, and LGBTQ people with vets for defense. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh well, look at that. The Raw, you're on the air. Hello, The Raw, you're on the air.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you'd picked up my call yet or not. I thought it was someone else you was talking to.
Oh no, I was just rambling on, but The Raw, you're on the air.
Well, this is Red Comet speaking to you. How you doing tonight?
By the way, good comment. By the way, I found that rather humorous.
Well, thank you. I got a bunch of them, and I got another one.
Go ahead.
I think we ought to give a Presidential Freedom Award to John McCain's brain tumor.
Oh no. I'm not going to go there. But okay, sure. I'll let you have that one.
but back on
you gotta
subject.
Remember where I live. I live in Arizona. Okay, now mind you, I didn't particularly like John McCain as a politician at all. I admired the military man. That's as far as I'm going to take it. So
I understand.
Yep.
But this Project 2025 stuff, I mean, I agree with you. I think it's nothing but a bunch of. You said we're not on the. You said we're not on the air, and we don't have to worry about the FCC tonight, right?
Absolutely correct. You do not have to worry about the FCC. You sorry motherfucking sack of shit. See, I got away with it.
Oh, thank God.
The
thank
FCC
God.
gods did not strike me down. But go ahead, let it off your chest. Let it out. It's cathartic. It's therapy.
I think Project 2025 is nothing but a big load of bullshit.
If I had my bell, I'd be dinging it. Ding.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was just on Twitter looking through some comments, and Uncle Creepy, whoever it is running Uncle Creepy's Twitter, wrote out Google Project 2025, and Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, his response, Google Ashley Biden's diary.
Oh, please don't. If you want to throw up a lot in your mouth, go ahead and do that. Anything associated with that family, I try to stay away from if I most possibly can, because it really does make me want to throw up. It is such a sick and dysfunctional family, and it drives me to tears, absolute fucking tears.
I'd like to know how in the world Child Protective Services didn't come in and take those kids away from them.
When you got some money, honey.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
But all right, so you think Project 2025 is a bunch of fucking shit too?
I do. It's nothing but a boogeyman that the left has come up with.
Well,
I mean, they are so friggin'
they're
desperate to stay in office. They're grasping at straws.
Oh, absolutely, they're grasping at straws. But this is not something that the left come up with. That this is something that's put out by the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank, supposedly conservative think tank. But it is something that amazingly they put out at a time where we are at our most divided. I've never seen the country divided this much before. I mean, even during the Summer of Love, we still were somewhat united, but now we're divided even further. And this now drops out of the from wherever it drops out from, probably the hind end of some rhino. And it is allowing the other rhinos and the other Democrats to use it as a bludgeon. Say, this is what Trump is going to do to you.
Well, aren't the rhinos just the bitches for the Democrats?
Like I said, Republicans in name only. But this is one of the things that's being said about this. Veterans, are you seeing this? Project 2025 veterans cuts estimated current recipient of retirement pay disability compensation for veterans. They're going to cut that by $160 million. And enrollment in VA medical care for veterans, priority groups 7 and 8. Narrow eligibility for veterans disability by excluding disability unrelated military duties. Put a 10-year limit on initial applications for disability compensation. It's absolute fucking crap. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. Now, the only thing that Project 2025 addresses is things that are harmful to vets.
Sounds to me like they're trying to turn the veteran community against Trump.
They are, and they're failing because, we're a little bit smarter than that.
May I ask you a question real quick?
Go right ahead. Anything's on the table.
When was you in the Army? What year?
1984 to 1990.
Oh, from 84 to 90. Cool. I've been reading some books and stuff, alt history books that have been set in that time period.
Oh, okay.
So you was in the military when they were still wearing M81 and toting them 16A2s.
That is correct.
I love the A2.
The
A2 and the Car 15, two of my favorites.
The M16A2 was an awesome fucking rifle. Absolutely awesome fucking rifle. Of course, it had iron sights, had the ability to fix a optical sight on it, but nobody did. We were trained to shoot at long ranges with iron sights and just our M16. It was a versatile little weapon. Of course, you could fix a bayonet to it if you needed to, and you could have fixed the M203 grenade launcher, which was, oh man, that was a goddamn dream. Yeah, I miss mine. I miss mine. I would love to have an M203 grenade launcher. Unfortunately, I can't have one. At least not.
Which do you prefer? Which do you prefer, the M203 or the Loop Tube?
Oh, the M74.
Mm-hmm.
I
couldn't remember what its number was.
That's okay. I carried both of them at one point. The M203. I preferred the M203. Number one, it was right there. It was handy. You didn't have to switch out. All right, just pop a shell, whatever flavor you needed, whether it was smoke, tear gas, buckshot, grenade, flare, whatever it is. You just popped it in there, aimed, popped it up, and then went back to killing bad guys.
They made shotgun shells for the.
Yes, they did.
For the tube.
Yes, they did.
Ooh, that would have ripped somebody a new asshole. Hell, that'd have ripped a whole squad a new asshole.
Not as bad as it ripped the person firing the goddamn thing. That thing had that round kicked like a fucking mule.
I bet. Oh, anyway, yeah. And speaking of which,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't mean to interrupt your train of thought.
No, go right ahead.
Okay. Now, being as you're obviously old enough to be my mama.
Oh, yeah. Fuck you, pal. Okay.
I was born in 87, so.
Okay, well, yeah, no. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll accept that. I could be your mama.
Okay, but thing is, you've seen this country work a whole lot more than I have. I mean, I've never seen this country this divided before either. What do you think is the possibility of this country making like Yugoslavia did in '91?
Actually,
just splitting off
that's a pretty good question. And here's my answer. All right. There's enough of us Gen Xers out there. 'Cause we're just honestly, Gen X is just coming into power, just coming into political power. There's enough of us there to straighten the vehicle out at this point. The problem is getting Gen Xers to give a fuck beyond get off my goddamn grass at this point. Because all we want to do is be left alone.
Mm-hmm.
But now everything is intruding upon us, and now we're starting to get pissed off. We're starting to pay attention, and we're getting out there and we're actually doing something. For instance, me, I run a conservative radio program. That's how I'm giving back to my community. That's how I'm rabble rousing. That's how I'm making sure that people are aware. Because I remember what a journalist's job was. A journalist's job was to educate the electorate on both sides of the issue, not just one side of the issue. Not only the issue that I want you to pay attention to, I want you to pay attention to the entire thing. So you as a reasonable adult can make up your own fucking mind.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do what's best for you. You know who to vote for, who aligns with your ideals. Let me tell you, I don't like either candidate. I think Trump is great because he was fucking funny for 4 years. I laughed my ass off for 4 years fucking straight.
Yeah, he was very funny.
And yeah, he was goddamn hilarious. The mean tweets and all. I loved it. Every last bit of it. Every time he tweeted something, the left would come absolutely fucking unglued, and I loved it.
I know one thing. I'd sell my left testicle for a mean tweet and a quarter gas now.
Same here. But now look at what we got. We've got somebody who is actively vacant. I mean, vacant in mind and spirit. His body's there, but his mind is gone, and his spirit sure the hell isn't showing through. If you looked at his eyes look dead. His eyes look dead. There is no soul there. There's no passion there.
No.
There's no life there. It's gone. They would do better if they went and got a Disney animatronics robot. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
At least it would be a little bit more expressive than
it would. Excuse me.
But are we going to go the way of the dodo? No, I don't think we will. I don't think we will.
Not.
We right now, this last 4 years, especially coming out of COVID, we saw an immense swing to the left. I mean, such an extreme swing to the left that halfway through it reached apogee, and now it's coming back down. And it is swinging so fast that the far right is now going to get a chance to be as stupid as they can.
Oh, God, I hope not. And not only for you, but also for my girlfriend and my other friends.
Well, I understand.
I mean, I don't know if I told you this yet or not, but my sweetheart, she's transgender too.
That's yeah, I know. You and I have talked. You and I have talked before. I
know. Yes, we have.
I know who you is. Fucking whatever. No, it's okay. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm the guy. I'm the guy that aggravates you about flying around in Hueys.
Yeah, whatever. You know, it's not the fall out of the Huey that kills you. It's that sudden stop at the end of the rope. Anyway, but but needless to say, okay, you understand what I'm saying, okay?
I do.
Next is going to be the extreme right's turn. But here's the beautiful thing about it. The people in the middle are going to start putting the brakes on the swing. So it's not going to swing quite as far to the right. And hopefully sometime soon, it'll just be a little gentle swing right in the center where everybody's unhappy.
I sincerely hope so, because
things get back on an even keel. Did you listen to Sunday? Did you listen to Sunday show?
I'm afraid I missed that one on account of work.
Well, you know, that's fine. It's out there. It's available. Mr. Rob Hansen radio program on Rumble and yeah, and even on Twitter. But
I'll give it a listen as soon as possible.
You know, oh, that's okay. You don't have to, because I'm going to summarize for you. Then I'm going to break because I'm now a minute over time for my break.
Okay.
But we talked about similar things like this weekend, where things go so far to the left or to the right that it starts dividing people. People start arguing with their family, their friends, their this and their that and their everything else. And the way to combat that, the way to stop that, and it's simple and everybody can do it. It starts in the churches. It starts in the schools. It starts in the neighborhood parks. It starts on Main Street, and it continues on into every cul-de-sac of every residential street. We start coming together as friends and family and neighbors once again. That's what COVID did to us. It divided us. It told us we had to stay away from our neighbors, our friends, our loved ones, our grandparents, our children. We had to stay 6 feet apart. We couldn't touch. We had to cover our faces. We had to hide ourselves away from each other. We couldn't do certain things. We couldn't say certain things. We couldn't learn things. We couldn't pray. Oh, we could pray in our own homes, but we certainly couldn't gather in a church. We couldn't do these things. For 2 years, this went on. For 2 years, we were told that if you went within 6 feet of grandma, she'd die. If you went within 6 feet of your neighbor, he or she would die. And people believed that. People believed that. Then they went out in droves and got a shot and was told that was 100% safe and effective. And more people died. And more people are still dying. It turned out that getting the shot only meant you got sicker quicker. And you still passed it on. Yet the people who didn't go out and get the shot, while they still caught the variants, they were sick. They were sick less and for less time because they had an immune system that could fight off the new variants. Medicines that have worked traditionally in the past on exotic flus were banned. Ivermectin. Ivermectin is one of them. They told doctors, if you prescribe it, you're going to lose your license. They told pharmacists, if you dispense it, you're going to lose everything. You're going to lose your license and we'll jail you. They told these medical professionals these things because they wanted the results that COVID gave. Let me bring up one term, and then I'm going to hang up on you and go to break.
That's
But
fine.
every-
It's
every-
good talking to you.
Yeah, that's fine. But everything that I just told you, remember what they said. This is the Great Reset.
Oh yes, I remember the
All
Great Reset.
All right, man. Well, thanks for your call. Do appreciate it. It is The Raw. I'm your hostess with the most of this, Miss Dan Hansen. We'll be back after these very important messages. Stay tuned.
Time Call Taxi is here for all your transportation needs, whether it's a ride to work, the store, or anywhere. Time Call Taxi is here for you. Call 928-763-1010, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Going out to paint the town red? Call Time Call Taxi and get to and from your fun in a timely and safe manner. Call Time Call Taxi, 763-1010. That's 763-1010.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
All right, everybody in the car. Let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Oh,
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it gonna be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way! Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
Okay, this is the Target house.
Yeah, but Jimmy, what about this here sticker?
What sticker?
Right here on the door. These premises protected by Southwest Alarm Service. 763-4331 and 753-2333.
That's just a sticker. One of these companies is going all over town giving these things out to everybody. Forget about it. If you're ever going to be any good in the burglar business, you're going to have to learn these things. Now, we're inside. You get the stuff down here, and I'll get the stuff upstairs. You know, cash, jewelry.
Jimmy, what time is it?
It's about 1 a.m. Why?
Because it looks like sun came up outside.
You in the house. You're completely surrounded. Come out with your hands in the air.
Just a sticker, huh, Jimmy?
Southwest Alarm Service, 753-2333 or 763-4331. Because real security is more than a yard sign or a sticker. Call Southwest Alarm Service today.
Southwest Alarm has the only 24-hour locally monitored central station.
The opinions voiced on The Raw are those of the hosts and the callers and not necessarily represent the views and opinions of KTOX and Ruben Broadcasting or its advertisers. The opinions should be considered as the ramblings of raving lunatics.
You're listening to The Raw with Henry and Miss Raw, brought to you by Pirate Web Radio Productions, Ruben Broadcasting, along with KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream, fuck you! Fuck you! Wear your mask, take your pills, now a whole generation's mentally ill! Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Dog does it and they call them racist. We the people. Let's go Brandon. We the people. Let's go Brandon.
And welcome back. It is The Raw. I'm your host with most of this is Dan Hansen. Of course, Henry is not with us right now. He'll be joining us probably within, I don't know, the next few minutes or hour. He's at a city council meeting doing City of Needles business. So he'll be joining us later. I kind of wished he was there during the first hour, but it's all right. So California SB 1414 is what we're going to be talking about. And this is a bill that raises the criminal penalty for essentially purchasing a child for sex in California. Okay, I think we're all for that, aren't we? Especially since, well, their current law is shit. It's only a misdemeanor with a minimum of 2 days in jail, a $10,000 fine, and up to a year in jail. A misdemeanor for knowingly paying for a child for sex in California. And of course, LGBT groups and other groups are dead set against this, saying that this is unfairly target people, especially LGBT people who are, I don't remember how she, but let's hear it in her own stupid words.
We believe that SB 1414 takes an overly punitive approach that fails to address the root causes of these issues and will not effectively stop sexual violence. We are particularly concerned that the harsher penalties proposed in this bill will disproportionately impact marginalized communities, especially members of the LGBTQ community, who already suffer from systematic biases within the criminal justice system.
Okay, number one, that's not true. That is not true at all. LGBT folks do not suffer from biases within the criminal justice system or even the civil justice system. We're held to the same standards as every other person in the world. Oh, looky who joined us. Hi, Henry. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Let me get my microphone over to me. There we go. Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you?
That might help. You don't have to scream across the room.
Well, I cannot hear you.
I can't hear you.
Time to stop.
But we can hear them.
I know.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Hey, so we're talking about State Bill 1414, the one that raises the penalty on selling a kid for sex or buying a kid for sex.
Okay. Why don't they just euthanize them?
Well, yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. Mm-hmm. But we were just listening to the LGBTQ plus advocate tell everybody how LGBTQ plus people are targeted negatively within the legal system, in the criminal justice system.
Pretty much.
Not.
Pretty much, though.
How so?
Well, they got a label on them. They got a label on them. The justice system sees that label. They think different than the some of the, not all the lawmakers. They think different than some of the lawmakers, so they're a threat to them.
Okay, we're talking about the criminal justice system. We're
I
talking about
understand what
judges
you're
and
talking about.
judges and lawyers and
the
and
judges
stuff like
and
that.
the judges and the lawyers. I could tend to agree with them.
I don't.
Okay, and you're
But-
part of the community. I'm not.
Right.
Imagine that.
I mean, okay. Well, okay. Let's take this aside for just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you the rule. All right. You were there when I went and got my name changed.
Correct.
I had to go in front of a judge. Correct? Are you there, Henry, or did I? You froze
did,
up.
yes.
I
Sorry.
did.
Yes.
And what was my worry about that judge?
What was your what?
My chief worry about that judge.
I don't remember.
He's a hyper conservative.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yeah.
Matter of fact, he used to be a county supervisor.
Okay.
Very, very conservative. Yeah, Mojave County, where I live, is very conservative.
That's right. I remember that, yeah.
He used to be a county supervisor, Steve Moss.
And you absolutely had nothing to worry about when you went in front of him.
No, I didn't.
He actually.
No, I didn't. He treated me with kindness. He treated me with respect. He treated me like any other citizen that walked in off the street.
Yes, he did.
He explained things to me with respect. He didn't talk down to me. He didn't call me names other than my name. He didn't sneer at me.
Uh-uh.
He didn't make fun of me. He didn't poke fun at me.
Nope.
So I'm going to say that the law treats LGBTQ people differently than anybody else. I say bullshit.
Okay, one case.
I haven't seen the systemic issues.
Okay.
Unless you're going up in front of a judge for raping a 6-year-old or raping, going into a women's restroom and raping her. If you're there for a crime, I'm hoping you're getting beat the crap out of by the judge and the jury.
And I don't think anybody should go in front of a judge for that. They should go in front of their maker.
Well, that's fine. But still, this is the United States and we still have a legal process.
I understand that.
But let's listen to what this ding dong has to say.
Okay. Where's the ding dong?
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. I failed to bring that up. My apologies. Let's try this again. The ding dong is right here.
Okay.
In the red.
We believe that SB 1414 takes an overly punitive approach that fails to address the root causes of these issues and will not effectively stop sexual violence. We are particularly concerned that the harsher penalties proposed in this bill will disproportionately impact marginalized communities.
Okay, let's stop right there.
Okay.
No law on the books, I don't care what it deals with, is going to stop criminals from doing what criminals are going to do.
Correct.
And it doesn't matter whether that criminal is LGBTQ plus, straight, whatever. It doesn't matter. People who are going to commit crimes are going to commit crimes regardless of what law is on the books.
Mm-hmm.
The law on the books is how to punish said criminal.
Right.
Not to prevent said criminal from doing the crime. Sorry, folks, but that's the way it is.
Especially members of the LGBTQ community. who already suffer from systematic biases within the criminal justice system,
That's where I disagree totally with her.
particularly when it comes to sexually based offenses.
You mean the offenses where an adult rapes a child?
Studies have shown that LGBTQ people, particularly gay and transgendered individuals, are more likely to be charged with sex offenses compared to their heterosexual counterparts.
No, I don't agree with that. Yeah.
Negative. How do I explain this and not sound like an asshole?
Kind of
I
hard for
can't.
you.
Huh?
Oh, nothing.
Did I hear something like I'm not retarded?
I'm not retarded.
Okay, I just wondering. If you were to graph it out, okay, between the socioeconomic and dynamic diversity of everybody who commits pedophilia, you would see a flat line. There's no particular group that commits more or less of them.
Correct.
No particular sexuality that commits more or less of them. It's a flat fucking line.
And it's unfortunate it can't be deterred way before. But there's no way to deter it because there's no way to find out who's doing it.
You can't prosecute for a thought crime.
No, you can't.
Because there's no such thing as a thought crime.
Correct.
You can think whatever nasty, crappy thoughts you want.
That's all right.
You don't share them, you don't act on them, you'll be fine.
Yep.
If they bother you that much, seek help and you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Or you won't.
You act on them, you get caught, you should be going to under the prison.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You should become a foundation part of a brand new wing of a prison.
You betcha.
Carl says this: these people make any excuse to protect pedophilia. She says it isn't going to help, but it's damn sure ain't going to hurt. So what's the problem if it could protect or save some children? Ironic from the political side that always bring up, what about the children argument except when it comes to sex? Funny that, yeah. By the way, these are the same people that helped pass SB 145. I don't know what SB 145 is offhand. Do you remember what that was?
I do not.
Let's go on with this because it just gets more sick as it goes on.
For instance, LGBTQ individuals are 9 times more likely to be charged with sodomy. Measures like SB 14.
Okay, when was the last time somebody was charged with sodomy, adult to adult?
I don't remember anything. I don't remember any of that.
Yeah,
I've never heard it publicized.
Neither have I.
14 lead to higher rates of incarceration, longer sentences, and increased difficulties in finding housing and employment. Today.
Let's go to the phones real quick. The Raw, you're on the air.
Yeah, I'm double fisting.
Oh, you're double fisting. Listen to you, Chuck. Hi, Chuck. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
What I meant by that, I'm double fisting. I'm trying to listen to the City of Longview council meeting, and I'm listening to the Raw. So I have to go back and forth.
Oh, gotcha.
And
what's SB 145?
Okay, SB 145 is a 10-year rule. Starting at age 14, if you're charged with a sex crime, you don't have to register as a sex offender.
If you're 14 years old?
Yeah.
Okay.
But go ahead, Chuck. Sorry.
No, that sounds good to me. I guess. I don't know.
I don't know either, but go ahead. Well, your thought.
Wait a second here. Does this involve, if it's this kind of sex offense where, the butt sniffing stage type of a thing or whatever they go through, and then,
no,
or are we talking about a crime?
We're talking about an adult who purchases a child.
Oh, I thought you were
binds
talking
a
about
child for the express purpose of having sex with said child.
I thought that was already illegal.
It is.
Yes, but in California, it's only a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're trying to make it a felony, and with a little bit more time than just 2 days in jail.
You know, I some of the things that I've thought about as I been through my life, and that was one of the questions is, how does a society decide on what the age of consent is?
Mm-hmm.
And as you go around the globe, there's different ages. I don't think any one of them go below 13. I think it's safe to say that. But, you know, and speaking of that, we live in a society where we're constantly playing this game of you're an adult here, except if you commit murder, then we're going to try you as an adult. But you can join the Army, but you can't have a beer. You can drive a car from what used to be 14, 16. Now it's 18 in some states.
Depending on what state.
Oh, yeah.
South Dakota, I think, is 14.
Yeah, Wyoming, you can get one at the age of 14, but it's a special permit. You can get it in Arizona. You can get your learner's permit at 15, your full driver's license at 16, and with just minor
it's just a
restrictions.
bunch of bullshit.
But it's neither here nor there. But you know, your original comment was that you quickly shifted from was how do we determine ages of consent?
Yeah.
When it comes down to sex.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I was going off on a tangent because there seems to be a collective confusion about what our society thinks is the age of accountability, for lack of better terms.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying, Chuck.
If you ask me, it's 21 in women and 25 in men.
Oh, man.
Oh, what the fuck? Wait a second. Donald Trump says that you got to be 21 years old to buy a fucking Marlboro Red now. That's fucking crazy.
That's fine with me. That's fine with me. I don't smoke.
Yeah, well,
even though I look under 21,
I'm in my 50s and I smoke Pall Malls anyway. So you know.
Don't think of that 11-year-old who has aspirations to smoke a cigarette in 10 years.
The thing is, in Arizona, you can't buy cigarettes unless you're 21 anyway. So the fuck about, you know. Honestly, I do not care about that. Okay, I do not give a fuck about that.
Okay, well,
but if you ask me the age of maturity for people to be able to come to logical conclusions, legal logical conclusions, it's 21 in male or 21 in female and 25 in males.
I could tend to agree with that.
I would say that some people don't even figure shit out until they're dead. At the age of 42, I don't know.
Right.
This is true.
Everybody's different. True. You're absolutely right.
Everybody is different. But the thing is, we have a base. That base is 18 years old. That is the age of majority. Correct. The age at which you can vote. The age at which you can, unfortunately the law says you can own a long rifle.
Mm-hmm.
The age which by the letter of the law, you are considered an adult.
Yes.
All right, and that is universal across the United States.
Now, Chuck did make a statement. If you're a minor, like say you're 15, 16 years old, and you create a hideous crime, and then you can be committed. You can be convicted as an adult.
That is correct.
That's what Chuck was saying.
I don't fucking get that shit at all. I don't fucking understand. You're sitting there saying that we as a society
you believe that a 15-year
head off at the.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Go ahead. Sorry. Oh, okay, all right. So what we're saying here is that we are going to come down on you because you made the stupid decision to kill somebody at the age of 14. That's fair. I agree in a harsh punishment and probably what they call community custody and mental health counseling and no guns and all sorts of shit, attached to this person for the rest of their lives. So, but I don't think it's fair for a 14-year-old to be tried as an adult, because we're saying that you have the capability to understand what you're doing is wrong, but you can't fuck somebody who you want to fuck. I mean, do you understand what I'm saying? There is.
I hear what you're saying, but this is not what the discussion is about. This is about adults purchasing fucking kids for the purpose of sex.
Well, that's an easy answer, but I took it to the next.
But you muddled the fuck out of it.
I don't think it's. I don't. Well, I mean, what age are they able to make this decision? They're old enough to make the decision to pull the trigger.
Except in Nevada, never.
No. What age do you think they should be able to sit there and pimp themselves out, Rob?
Never. That is the law.
Okay. So
that's a law in
California.
No, I didn't say that.
So now
I am going by what the law says. The law says never. You are not allowed to sell yourself for sex at any age in California. You're not allowed to sell yourself for sex at any age in Washington, Oregon, California, parts of Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, Colorado, and every other one of the 50 states in the U.S.
I can go, well, I kind of, sort of, because I can go down to Portland. I can go down to Portland, Oregon, 45 minutes.
And I can walk out my street, go down 5 blocks, and find a cracked out hooker.
Oh, that's a different
in Boulder
experience.
City.
What's up?
All right, so I'm not saying whether it's available. I'm just saying what is legal and what is not legal. It is not legal at any age to put yourself up for prostitution. However, when you are a child, do you honestly think that kid is putting themselves up for prostitution on their own cognizance?
So when when you say child, again, we're getting into this 14-year-old pulling a trigger. Now, when you say child, I think, excuse me, I think of 6 years old and some like just totally innocent to the world. But when we start to talk about 14, 15, you're starting to really emerge as an adult there.
No,
and we're going to charge your ass.
You are still a minor in the eyes of the law.
Well, why the hell do we charge 14-year-olds as adults then? And when they commit a crime, what is the age of accountability?
Murdered their entire family,
or murdered a kid and then stuck a banana peel up his rear end, like it's happened. I think in Montana a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and that kid's going to prison for the rest of his natural life.
Well, now, Chuck, an incident that happened in my life. My ex-girlfriend, her son stabbed her in the gut at 14 years old, killed her. This was in California. Killed her. He maxed out at 23 years old, I believe it was. That's maxed out according to California law. So they could that violent of a crime. Now, what do you think? Do you think he should have been put in there for the rest of his life?
At that point, Henry, to tell you the truth, you just, unless this is a remarkable human being, prison life is all he has. So his life, I'm just speculating here based off statistics, but his likelihood of reoffending and going back into the criminal justice system and back into jail is there because that's the only thing he knows.
Correct. And he went through the YA, with his youth authority. So he went through juvenile for all that time. He never stepped foot in an adult prison. So do you think that he was rehabilitated after that?
It's hard to say.
No, he wasn't.
Probably.
No, he wasn't.
That's what I was leaning to.
However,
so
once again, we're muddling the facts. We're talking
Yes, we are.
about people who are adults knowingly purchasing a child for sex. I don't give a fuck.
Okay,
I
right.
don't give a fuck if it's 17 and 325 days, all the
Right.
way down to whatever.
Yeah,
Purchase
it's
minor for purposes of sex. That's what we're
euthanasia.
talking about.
what about what?
There's a what about.
Okay.
We are talking. This is the topic we're talking about. We're talking about adults, people above the age of 18, who are supposed to be reasonably minded, buying a human being for the purpose of having sex with them.
And being a minor.
I can't believe there's not like a felony enhancement if the person is below the age of 12, like most states have. Like, you're going to fucking.
Let me read to you what the existing California law is.
And it's sickening.
Under existing law, a person who solicits or agrees to engage in or engages in any act of prostitution with the intent to receive compensation, money, or anything of value from another person is guilty of a disorderly conduct misdemeanor. Under existing law, if the person was a minor and the person who solicited the minor knew reasonably that they should have known that the person solicited was a minor, the offense is punishable by imprisonment in a county jail for a mandatory minimum of 2 fucking days. I added the 2 fucking days part. Not to exceed 1 year, and a fine not to exceed $10,000 or by such fine as imprisonment.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. Do you think that, and I don't want to be weird here, but it's got to be asked.
That's
There's
okay.
a difference
We know we're
between-
weird anyway, so just
We're all
There's
weird.
a difference between a 6-year-old's mentality and a 14-year-old's mentality. Can we say that?
Again with the fucking ages? We're talking about anybody under the age of 18 to
Selling a human being.
just born. We're talking about selling
A human
minor
being for
child
sex.
for sex.
No, you're not talking about that. You're talking about prostitution, which is somebody
That
who
is
is giving
the
up their body.
definition of prostitution,
You're not-
selling a
You're
human
not
being for
talking
sex.
about. You're not really talking about trafficking or anything like that, which is already
Oh my
against federal
God.
law.
Oh my
What?
Chuck, come on. Listen to what you're saying. Listen to how you're saying it. Okay.
I'm trying to break down. I'm trying to break down laws.
There's nothing to break down here. We're talking about a minor who's being sold for sex, purchased for sex by
They sell
by a
themselves.
person.
That's called. No, you don't. You
has
see, you're
nothing to
conflating.
do with that.
I can't. Okay, well, I can't help it if you want to use your time up on YouTube to conflate the two issues that you're talking about. You're talking
How
about
am I conflating
freaking.
these two issues? Please,
and-
please, in
okay,
detailed.
I'll explain it to you.
Okay.
Can I get a second here?
Sure.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Okay.
It's yours.
So you're talking about a human trafficking type of kidnapping situation where they're being forced into this. And then you're also talking about prostitution, which is a consensual type of act that somebody performs. Okay? There are two different things there. Somebody is 14 years old that figures out, I'm going to go earn $700 tonight because of some dude that wants to do this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's illegal as fuck. But do you think that it would be the same type of crime if somebody was holding a gun up to her head?
Yes.
Saying, you're going to do this.
Yes. The thing is, that's how California law treats
It's
it.
not
That's-
the same.
That is how
It's not the same.
Chuck, that is how California
Not-
law treats it. It doesn't matter if she has a pimp who is forcing her to do it or him to do it or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're not going
You're
to
talking
judge
about two different things.
No,
here.
we're not talking about two different things because
Yeah,
you're
talking about a situation where somebody
the majority of minor prostitution. We're talking about minors. We're talking about children are being forced into it by either a family member or a friend or a pimp or
that is
somebody
not
else.
prostitution. That's not prostitution then.
Yes. Okay. Then you know what?
I
forgot. I only speak fucking Deutsch.
That's not prostitution. That's something else that you probably should look up. And I think that it's probably already well covered. But like I said, if you want to go ahead and start prosecuting 14-year-old girls for having
We're
sex,
not talking about prosecuting the 14-year-old girls, Chuck. We're talking about prosecuting the people who go and pay for it. We're talking about the people, the adults who knowingly go and pay for it. Not the victims. We're talking about the perpetrators, the people who go and pay for it. Because all you'll end up doing it right now is get 2 days in jail up to a year. (928-476-0331) is the number if you want to join in the conversation. Well, let's go on and listen to the rest of this.
EBC must strongly oppose Senate Bill 1414 for the reasons I will state. We stand against any punitive measure that perpetuates systemic injustices, and we emphasize instead the need for community-based solutions. We strongly support investments in victim services and programs to provide housing and other alternatives to help people escape trafficking. We are concerned that the harsher penalties contained in this bill will disproportionately impact marginalized communities, particularly Black and Brown individuals who already bear the brunt of systemic biases within our criminal justice system. Under current California law, defendants could face years or even decades in prison for sexual violence committed against a minor, not just 6 months in jail as Senator Grove and prosecutors have previously claimed. Furthermore, the approach outlined in SB 1414 diverts resources from vital programs and services aimed at supporting survivors of human trafficking and sexual exploitation, opting instead to increase funding for lengthy jail terms. Our research has shown that punitive measures such as lengthy incarceration and registries do little to prevent crime or protect communities. Instead, they perpetuate cycles of incarceration, exacerbating the very problems they are meant to address. Rather than investing in punitive measures, we should be investing in community-based solutions that address the underlying issues driving exploitation. We should instead support survivors in healing and rebuilding their lives with access to housing and funding for service providers. Given this, we respectfully urge you to oppose SB 1414. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That is absolute fucking nonsense. We're talking about a law here that punishes adults who purchase children for sex. We're not talking about punishing the children. We're talking about punishing the adults. I don't understand. For the life of me, I do not understand why people are having such a problem with this. Unless it is to protect the adult pedophiles who purposely go out there and buy children for sex. Anyhow, what this bill will do, this bill instead, if the person solicited a minor, regardless of whether or not the person knew or reasonably should have known that the person solicited was a minor, makes the offense punishable by imprisonment in a state prison for 2, 3, or 4 years. and the fine not to exceed $25,000. By changing the elements and increasing the punishment time, this bill would impose a mandated local program. Existing law requires persons convicted of certain specified crimes to annually register as a sex offender as specified for a term of 10, 20, or 30 years. This bill would require a person on or after January 1st, 2025, convicted of soliciting a minor as specified to annually register as a sex offender for a minimum term of 10 years. California Constitution requires the state to reimburse local agencies and school districts for certain costs mandated by the state statutory provisions, established procedures for making that reimbursement. The bill would provide no reimbursement is required by an act for a specified reason. That's all they're talking about. That's all they're asking. That's all they want to do is make it punishable, make it a felony to knowingly go and purchase sex from a minor. They want to make that a felony. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I don't give a fuck if you want to conflate the issue. Conflate the issue on your own time. We're talking about punishing the person who is actively going and purchasing sex from a minor. We have, I don't know, Henry, what do you think?
Well, it should be a felony. It always should have been a felony. It should have never been a misdemeanor.
Absolutely.
No, that's bullshit. Sorry, I had to get up and walk away.
That's all right. You had a phone call that you had to take. I understand.
I had a phone call. I placed a German Shepherd today in a house, and the dog's getting really aggressive with the person.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's a sad situation because I don't think he can handle the dog.
I understand.
Yeah, but I had to get the phone call.
But what this does is make this an offense punishable by imprisonment in a state prison for 2, 3, or 4 years.
Well, there you go. There you go. It should be more.
Well, it should be fucking forever.
Yeah, well, I agree. But they need to change.
This is a start.
I can't believe that when you told me that that's what the law was, a minimum of 2 days. What the fuck? And a maximum of 1 year? What the fuck? This destroys a person's life for their whole life, a minor.
Yes, it does.
When they're purchased for sex, it destroys them. That doesn't just, one time it's like okay, that fucks them up for a day or two. That's their whole life.
I feel bad for getting mad at your vice presidential pick.
No.
But he was comparing apples with oranges. Well, you're going to punish these kids. No, we're punishing the adults who want to fuck these kids after they pay them, or their pimp, or whoever they're purchasing them from.
I don't understand that.
It really fucking irritates me.
I don't understand that where it's the same penalty as it would be if you purchased an adult.
Yeah.
I mean, at least an adult, I'm sure it fucks with their head too, but at least an adult can.
Look, we can do this all night long, but the majority of prostitution in the United States, illegal prostitution in the United States, is coerced.
Yes, I agree.
The majority of it is coerced.
I agree.
There are instances where I'm good. I'm good looking. I'm putting on my fishnets and my high heels, and I'm going out and I'm going to see what I can make tonight because Mama needs a new Gucci.
That was you.
Yeah, it was me. That was a long time ago.
I thought that was you.
That was a long time ago.
I thought that was you. I drove by and I saw. Yeah.
But no, but seriously, okay,
Yeah.
that would be an adult transaction. Even though, yes, I am committing a crime,
Right.
and you're committing a crime. We're both
Right.
committing a crime. We're both committing a crime mutually. Okay, fine, whatever. But the dynamic changes when it's a minor
Absolutely.
child
Absolutely. 100%.
and an adult.
100%. 100%.
Like I said, I don't care if it's from day 1 to 306 the 360th day of age 17.
Right. No, they're a minor still.
I personally don't give a shit. You should be buried under the fucking jail. This is not a discussion about criminalizing the 14-year-old. Get that through your fucking head. This is a discussion about criminalizing the motherfucking adult that goes and purchases that 14-year-old for sex. That is what this law is about.
The stupid thing about that law is the way it states.
Why do you
now,
think a victim's advocate was against this? Because they're stupid.
Well, when you read that to me, that law, and I'm going, what the fuck? What the fuck? That's the same law for an adult with an adult. It's like, no, it should not be the same. It should be bury the motherfucker under the prison.
Let me bring this up. Let me bring this up. I'm not going to go read through the entire law because, frankly, that's boring and we don't need to.
Just pass it. We'll find out what's in it later. as Nancy says.
But the Legislative Council's digest of this, okay?
Yeah.
This bill would instead, if the person solicited was a minor, regardless of whether or not the person knew or reasonably should have known that the person solicited was a minor, makes the offense punishable by imprisonment in a state prison for 2, 3, or 4 years. We're talking about the adult who is doing the paying for it.
Not the child.
Not the child.
No, absolutely not.
Now, this does require that the state intervene on the child's behalf.
I agree. That I agree 100%. CPS needs to be involved in that.
It requires the state to get involved. It requires them to investigate. Yes. Is this child doing this on their own volition?
Correct.
Does this child have a pimp? Is it a family member? What is going on with this child? Let's get this child out of the situation and get the help this child needs.
Absolutely.
And yes, we, the state, will have to pay for that.
And that's okay. That part of my taxes, I'm great with paying for.
But this has absolutely nothing to do with charging the child with a crime.
No, the child didn't commit a crime.
Well, yes, the child did commit a crime, but we're talking about
the adult
perpetrator.
Yes,
the adult. That's all this is concentrating on.
And not necessarily did the child commit a crime. The child might have been forced to do it.
Exactly.
And like you said, most of the time,
this requires the state to step in and for the child.
Investigate it way more than what they do. Because these CPS agents, man, I got no faith in them. I got no faith in them whatsoever. I've heard many, many, many bullshit stories.
Well, you expose the victim to criminal liability with those laws. No, you don't, Chuck. That's the problem. You're not
No.
You know, that's it. I'm done. I'm done arguing with you, Chuck.
No,
you're stuck in a loop. You're talking about something that is not part of the discussion.
Child protective.
We're talking about the adult human person who goes and purchases a child for sex.
And the child has already been victimized all the state's going to do. Hold on, Rob.
That
all the,
equation. Okay, go ahead.
All the state's going to do is come in and make sure that no one is putting that kid up to it. If someone's putting that kid up to it, then that needs to be more prosecution. And which I would say 90% of the time, if not more, that someone is putting that kid up to it.
Well, then you're now dealing
protecting
with
that child.
Now you're dealing with federal human trafficking laws.
Correct.
At that point.
Correct. And you have to protect that child.
Chuck was
hold on, Rob. To protect that child.
On that
hold on, Rob. To protect that child, you have to bring in child protective services. Period.
Yes, you do.
And yes, that is part of the law. Yes, I'm sorry. You're not. Yeah, it's a fucked up situation all around for everybody.
It's a fucked up situation altogether, and it shouldn't be happening in the first place.
No.
But the thing is, we're trying to deal with it now. Yes. If you're against it, that's fine. But we're not talking about prosecuting the child. We're talking about prosecuting the perpetrators
or anybody else involved.
The perpetrators.
Or
we're talking about prosecuting the perpetrators.
Yes.
That is everybody involved except for the victim.
Correct.
And yes, the victim will be exposed to the legal system.
Yes.
Well, guess what? That's what happens when a crime is committed upon you. You are exposed to the legal system.
And it's a must.
We're not talking about prosecuting the victim. We're talking about prosecuting the adult perpetrators.
And unfortunately, yes, that child is being it's already exposed. The kid's already exposed. This is to prevent the child from any more exposure and to eliminate the situation. It has to be done. Child protective services have to be involved. Period. Yeah. I don't care if the kid was an orphan and they're doing it willingly. Child protective services need to be involved. The person still needs to be prosecuted and more than 2 days in jail.
More than 2 days in jail. Needs to be years and years and years and years and years and years, or the end of a hangman's noose.
Yes.
I'm sorry, bullets are too expensive, and we can't get reliable drugs. Make the guillotine great again. I don't know. What's that?
I said you can get great drugs right off the street, killing people left and right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All that fentanyl we got. Yeah, you bet. That's a quick, painless death, isn't it? Or not? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking care.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Well, yes, it is actually frustrating because we've got people who are arguing. Okay, arguing for the pedophiles.
And these kids are being damaged the rest of their life. It's not just a one and done. It's not a one and done. They're involved in the legal system. They get out of it. They go on with their life. No, this affects them the rest of their life.
Forever. Yes, forever. But, Chuck was talking about the victims advocates. Why? Well, then why are the victims advocates? Because they are advocating for the perpetrators. Because they view the pedophiles, they view the people who are being charged with this as the victims.
I'll victimize them.
The Raw, you're on the air.
You got your just my size in a bunch?
Oh, piss off, Chuck. I love you anyway, but go ahead.
Fucking vice president.
All right, so I don't know. It's like I don't want to be thought of somebody that's like, duh, yeah, I think people should go ahead and have sex with kids. No, I'm just worried about what you just played on your show, some of the funding shifts and everything like that. That obviously she was a California bureaucrat, but. She's worried about punishment on 14-year-old people who are prostitutes. And what do we do with criminals like prostitutes? Because And
well,
so do we treat these people? Do we try them as adults?
This law.
You're on your third offense, lady, and this is your 15th one, and you're only 15. Now, listen to me. I'm going to really throw the book at you.
This law is requiring the state to step in and
Correct.
look at the entire situation from front to back.
Then why is somebody getting up there at the Washington or the California legislature and saying this money, this bill is going to hurt victims of what you're exactly advocating and to help? I mean,
It's already hurt
I don't
them.
understand.
It's because these people are not viewing the 14-year-olds as a victim. These
Right.
people are viewing the pedophiles that go and
Well,
purchase
why
these.
is somebody
these- hang
standing
on,
up there and
hang on.
testifying that they are?
Because they are pedophiles or they are pedophile
Oh,
apologists.
come on.
These people
Come
are
on.
sick.
I think it's because they're worried about money from their department being shifted over to lock up 14-year-olds that get involved in prostitution.
Yeah.
Send them to juvenile.
You may
Send them to juvenile.
you may have a point, but I don't think you're on point. But anyway,
Lock them up. Try it as an adult. Okay.
all right, Chuck. Thank you. Oh my God, we got to take a break because it is 9:00. Henry, you there?
I'm here.
You're here. I mean, yeah, this is an emotionally charged subject.
It is.
I feel very passionate about it.
Yes.
I have no problem. Wood chippers for all pedophiles. That is my campaign promise.
Mm-hmm.
A pedophile for every wood chipper.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We have a sickness in this country. We have a sickness in this country when people get up and speak for the perpetrators.
Mm-hmm.
Become apologists for the perpetrators.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't figure out who the victim is anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But with that, we're going to break, Henry.
Okay.
We're going to break. It is Raw. We'll be back after these very short messages. Stay tuned.
Time Call Taxi is here for all your transportation needs, whether it's a ride to work, the store, or anywhere. Time Call Taxi is here for you. Call 928-763-1010, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Going out to paint the town red? Call Time Call Taxi and get to and from your fun in a timely and safe manner. Call Time Call Taxi, 763-1010. That's 763-1010.
Learn how to defend yourself and your loved one. Kingman Force on Force. Krav Maga. Empty hands. Edge weapons. Firearms training. Train like law enforcement with our virtual range simulator. AZCCW classes. Free gun safety classes. Our instructors are ACDPS licensed, NRA certified, and former Combat Special Forces. 3001 Stockton Hill Road, Kingman, Arizona. www.kingmanforsonforce.com.
I'm Rob Hansen.
And I'm Henry Longbreak, along with Tundra.
And KTOX 1340 AM, we are pleased to support the Mojave County Sheriff's K-9 Foundation.
The Mojave County K-9 Foundation teams with the Mojave County Sheriff Department to keep our county safer. It increases deputy safety, and the dogs are highly visible deterrents against robberies, burglaries, and drug dealing.
K-9s can save time clearing buildings. It takes less than the quarter of the time that it would take a deputy on his own.
K-9s can track juvenile runaways, missing elderly persons, fleeing suspects, and provide comfort to traumatized victims.
For more information about the Mojave County Sheriff's K-9 Foundation, or you'd like to make a tax-deductible donation or host a fundraising event that includes a K-9 demonstration, call John Sanchelli at 651-270-0920 or go online at www.mcsk9f.com.
The Mojave County Sheriff K-9 Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Okay, this is the target house.
Yeah, but Jimmy, what about this here sticker?
What sticker?
Right here on the door. These premises protected by Southwest Alarm Service. 763-4331 and 753-2333.
That's just a sticker. One of these companies is going all over town giving these things out to everybody. Forget about it. If you're ever going to be any good in the burglar business, you're going to have to learn these things. Now, we're inside. You get the stuff down here, and I'll get the stuff upstairs. You know, cash, jewelry.
Jimmy, what time is it?
It's about 1 a.m. Why?
Because it looks like sun came up outside.
You in the know. You're completely surrounded. Come out with your hands in the air.
Just a sticker, huh, Jimmy?
Southwest Alarm Service, 753-2333 or 763-4331. Because real security is more than a yard sign or a sticker. Call Southwest Alarm Service today.
Southwest Alarm has the only 24-hour locally monitored central station.
The opinions voiced on the Raw are those of the hosts and the callers and not necessarily represent the views and opinions of KTOX and Ruben Broadcasting or its advertisers. The opinions should be considered as the ramblings of raving lunatics.
You're listening to The Raw with Henry and Miss Raw, brought to you by Pirate Web Radio Productions, Ruben Broadcasting, along with KTOX 1340 AM and 92.9 FM, the Tri-State's undisputed talk leader.
We the people, and all we do, reserve the right to scream, fuck you!
Oh yeah, fuck you!
Wear your mask, take your pills, now a whole generation's mentally ill! Man, fuck Fauci. But COVID's near, it's coming to town. We gotta act quick, shut our borders down. Joe Biden does, the media embraces. Big Doc does it, and they call him racist. We the people. Let's go,
Biden. And welcome back. It is I'm your hostess with most of this, Miss Dean Hanson. Of course, we have Henry Longbreak joining us, who hasn't sat back down in his chair yet. See, we'll take a look. Oh, there he is. He's in the background, just kind of, doing what old fuckers do, bellying up to his bar, putting his headphones on. Hi there. How you doing? Welcome.
It's not a regular 6-minute break.
No, it's not.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Got yourself a popsicle, did you?
I did.
Trying to beat that 120 degree heat we had today.
It's a banana popsicle from
that's
Walmart.
Sounds good. You know where I'm coming right after the show. I'm heading down to Neil's. I'm knocking on your door. Actually,
you know what?
The problem is I'd pass 2 Walmarts where I could.
That's right. That's just what I was going to say.
But I don't want to pay for it.
I know. We'll just go to Walmart and start eating them. They won't say nothing.
Only in California.
That's true.
Arizona, they can still shoot me. So yeah, no, that's not worth it. Anyway, 928-476-0331 is the number you're joining the conversation.
Now, at the city council meeting tonight, before you get started, by the time I left there, I was freaking cold. It was so cold.
Where did you have it?
El Garces.
El Garza's air conditioner works pretty good, huh?
It works real good. Way too good.
My goodness gracious me.
Everybody in there is just shaking.
That's funny.
Yes. Yes.
Well, the thing is, the city council chambers that you guys rent from the county has a broken air conditioner. And of course, it's going to take an appropriations bill from the county supervisors to fix that air conditioner.
No, they're in the process of it.
Well, they're still going to have to vote on fixing it, or on the money to fix it, aren't they?
I think that was all allocated into it.
Okay, not a problem. But it's in the works. It'll happen sometime this year, maybe next.
From what I understand, we're going to do the rest of the summer at El Garza's.
Yeah,
so I'm bringing a jacket.
Bring a sweater. Anyway, 928-476-0331. We're going to talk about a shooting that happened in Kentucky.
Okay.
A 21-year-old killed 4 people, wounded 3, and then killed himself at a birthday party. A K-12 school shooting database here on Twitter X says Kentucky does not require background checks and permits, which is bullshit. The shooter was on probation and would be disqualified with sensible gun laws. Bullshit.
Where do you buy the gun from?
Hang on. Kentucky firearm homicide rates have increased 38% in the last decade and has a score of F from the Giffords Law Center, which is a score of F from the Giffords Law Center is an A+ in 2A circles. But let's meet Chase Garvey. By the way, this is Chase Garvey here. He's not 21 in this picture.
Okay.
He is not 21 in this picture. Matter of fact, that picture of him is of a 16-year-old Chase Garvey. This is a 21-year-old Chase Garvey. He is the shooter in this, where 7 people were shot. The only reason he was free was because of a judge by the name of Kathleen Lape. Chase Garvey is a convicted child rapist who lured a 13-year-old from Snapchat to rape her. A judge, Kathleen Lape, only gave him 5 years of probation.
Oh, shit.
But it gets worse. She even got a second chance to put him in prison for 5 years. She didn't. Chase violated his probation, and she still only gave him 30 days in county jail, where she could have given him a 5-year sentence. He should have been doing that sentence, or much worse than that, from the start. But even just enforcing his full 5-year jail sentence, he wouldn't have been able to commit this crime.
Correct.
I blame the soft on pedophiles judge that killed these people. Their blood, his blood, is on her hands. Now, mind you, I feel horrible for these victims.
Oh, yeah.
I do not feel sorry for him self-deleting.
So what happened to him? Is he dead now?
Yeah, he died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Too easy for him.
Oh, it's fine. He's gone. He's not going to be able to hurt anybody else any longer. I'm perfectly happy with that. But what I'm not happy with is this sack of shit right here. This sack of shit right here. This son of a bitch was on probation for raping a 13-year-old girl. And guess what? he was convicted of a felony and given probation for it. And even Kentucky state law says felons do not get firearms. Felons do not get firearms. But like most criminals going to do what a criminal's going to do. But these fuckers here, K through 12 school shooting database, they don't care about the perpetrator. And honestly, I don't think they give a crap about the victims either.
Obviously not.
All they want is to remove your Second Amendment rights.
Yep.
From you. Somebody who didn't have anything to do with the crime, somebody who didn't have anything to do with a shooting. They want to stretch the truth by saying that Kentucky does not require background checks. Well, I'm sorry. Background checks are required by federal law. By federal law. And if he acquired a firearm or a gun or a scary assault rifle or whatever the fuck he used in it, he did so illegally because he was a felon. He was a felon on probation. Now, you know me, Henry. Mm-hmm. I'm a 2A absolutist.
Right.
I believe that once you are finished, you're off probation, you're out of prison, you're off parole, everything else, you get all your constitutional rights granted back to you.
Okay.
But not during the penalty and punishment phase, which probation is a penalty and punishment phase.
Correct.
You don't get your civil rights. You don't get your civil rights. You don't get to vote. You don't get to own firearms. You don't get a say in how things are done. You are merely there proving that you're going to be a good adult and you have learned your lesson and you're not going to rape 13-year-olds anymore. This person should have been in prison. This person should have been in prison for years and decades.
Yep.
He should have not been allowed to go anywhere. By the way, the party that he shot up, he was not invited. He crashed it. People did not want him there. It was disgusting. And these people here, instead of going after tougher laws to handle violent people, I'm sorry, but a person who rapes a 13-year-old is a violent person.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And needs to be considered a violent person. Instead of going after soft on crime judges, they go after innocent people who own firearms, people who have never and will never commit a crime with a firearm. I'm not talking about traffic tickets.
Right.
I'm not talking about honest mistakes. I'm talking about using a firearm to rob a bank, using a firearm to murder somebody, using a firearm to coerce somebody into doing something that they don't want to do. Those are crimes. Those are crimes punishable by law. We're not talking about these people, but they are blaming you, Henry. They are blaming me, Henry, for the mere fact that we are firearm owners. Yeah, you don't. By California state standards, you can't own the same firearms that I own.
Correct.
But we can own firearms because we are law-abiding citizens. We're not on probation. We're not out there robbing liquor stores for crack cocaine. We're not luring 13-year-olds on Snapchat. We're not doing the things that harm society. It's really interesting anymore, especially when the Second Amendment. Are you what are you looking up?
Kentucky laws. That's what I'm looking
Okay.
at. I'm looking up Kentucky concealed carry and to buy a gun in Kentucky.
Yeah, you have to follow all the normal laws,
Federal laws.
Federal laws in Kentucky.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to that part and I can't really find it.
No, the thing is, it's the same. It's the same in Arizona as it is in Kentucky.
You're not legal. You're not required to register your firearm.
That is correct.
You have to be a legal citizen of the United States to own a firearm.
Correct.
You're not legally required to register it or need to license for shotguns, rifles.
You don't have to get a carry permit.
Legal own a firearm, which is a long rifle, is 18 years.
Mm-hmm. 21 for a pistol.
Yes.
Yeah. Essentially, they have the same gun laws in Kentucky as they do in Arizona. I don't know if they're constitutional concealed carry or not.
Yes.
Are they?
Yes.
They are? Okay, then fine. It's considered the exact same thing as Arizona.
Yeah.
In Arizona, you go to a gun dealer and guess what? You've got to provide ID. You have to fill out a form, the federal form. And if it comes back, you are a felon or there are questions. Guess what? You don't get to you get your money refunded and you don't get to buy the weapon.
Right. Right. For some reason, they're okay. Yeah, they got to follow the federal firearms regulations. That's
exactly.
That's federal.
Exactly. But the thing is, these people are twisting it and saying that you don't. You can just go in and say, hey, yeah, I just come in from the tobacco field and I want to buy that Glock 23. Yeah, that looks like a fine weapon. Here's my. Oh, thank you. And go ahead and throw it. Oh, hey, give me that M16 looking thing there. Oh yeah, hey, does that have all the selectors on the selector? Yeah, it sure does. Well, just go ahead and give me 20 of them. No, I'm sorry. You still have to follow all the same laws as everybody else does.
It's federal. Federal firearms laws. That's the same in all 50 states.
And this is what makes these places so goddamn dishonest. Kentucky does not require background checks and permits. Okay, so what? Neither does Arizona. Arizona doesn't require permits either.
Right.
But we got to do background checks.
Yep, that's federal. That's federal.
That's a federal requirement.
Yes.
And
just because you can buy it right over the counter doesn't mean that you're not run through the system.
Oh, you're run through the system 6 ways from Sunday.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I mean, I go into a gun shop when I was an Arizona resident, and I'm in and out within 15, 20 minutes.
I'm not.
Do they run me? Yes. When I have my concealed carry, I didn't even need a background because I'm already background checked.
That's a federal law as well.
Yes.
Because you've already passed those exhaustive checks.
Correct.
But these people, they're so dishonest in their reporting.
Of course.
They bend this to where, look at the picture, for crying out loud, of this kid.
Mm-hmm.
This kid is barely 16 or 17 years old in this picture.
Mm-hmm.
This was his booking picture.
Mm-hmm.
Whole host of differences there. That's an adult.
Yes, it is.
That's a whole host.
There'd be people alive today, and he would be in a federal pen.
Not necessarily a federal pen,
Well,
but
not
he'd
federal.
be
It'd be
in
a
a state pen.
State pen. I'm sorry.
Or you know, he'd be in protective custody. That's for sure. So he wouldn't get shanked by the regular prisoners.
That's right.
Or maybe he had been already shanked by the regular prisoners.
Yep.
I don't care. He would not have been able to. He would not have been able to commit that crime. Four people, 7 people would be uninjured or dead.
Mm-hmm. Dylan, what are you doing?
4 people would not have been killed. 3 people would not have been wounded, and he would still be alive himself, possibly if he hadn't been already killed in prison.
Right, right.
This judge is the one who's at fault.
Well, yeah, the blood is on the judge's hands.
The prosecution is at fault.
They are.
For not pushing
for recommending that.
I don't know if they recommended it or not. I don't know. I wasn't there. I can't say. But they're at fault for not pushing for a maximum sentence from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine this was part of a plea deal.
I'm sure.
I imagine it was part of a plea deal, same kind of plea deal that let a person go and stroke themselves in front of my daughter and several other minor children in a Walmart here in Bullhead City and only get 3 years of probation, 200 days of jail.
Yeah, not good.
By the way, which are all felonies. Yeah.
Our legal system is so fucked up.
Our legal system, when it comes to protecting children, protecting citizens, is fucked up.
Yep.
In California, you can't protect yourself if your house is getting robbed or your business is getting robbed.
Yep. Yep.
You have to let the perpetrator do whatever the fuck they want. If you fight back, you're the criminal.
Yep.
They become the victim. It's just stuff. You can replace your stuff.
Never the way it used to be.
I'm sorry. I've got a 350-year-old chair that this guy smashed to pieces after breaking into my house and trashing it.
Then he came at me trying to kill me, so I killed him.
How do I replace that?
Mm-hmm.
I can't go back in time. I can't find the original manufacturer is ash to ashes, dust to dust.
Mm-hmm.
Got an ashtray my daughter made for me in 3rd grade.
Mm-hmm.
This guy thought it would be a good idea to toss it out the window and shatter it. Insurance isn't going to pay for that. Insurance is not going to replace it. No amount of money in the world is going to be able to replace that kind of stuff. Yet, if I fight back in California and try to protect my stuff, I'm the criminal.
Even if they're in your house, busting up stuff.
The Raw, you're on the air.
I just spent the last 20 goddamn minutes trying to get CW to listen on Rumble.
Okay. Why?
Because I think this is an important message that America should hear. You don't want more people on your
of course I do.
listening to the show?
Of course I do. I'm just going, good for you, but why? And which message are we talking about?
Well, the fact is that you want to punish 14-year-old girls for prostitution.
No! Where the hell did you get that? Where the fuck did you get that?
I swear to God, boy, I'll tell you what, I hate your guys' campaign message. Dead on. Oh, one of us ain't retarded.
One of us ain't retarded.
God damn it.
It would have to be the Democrat
All
that's
right.
retarded.
No, I just Democrat, devil's advocate, victim's advocate, whatever.
Yeah. That's okay, Chuck. I still appreciate you. I hope you know that.
We still love you, Chuck.
I could be totally wrong. Fuck, I could be totally wrong though about that. You know, this is
you are, but that's okay.
I'm going to put you in charge of it, Chuck, when you're vice
At least
president, so you have to investigate it.
understand that there's a possibility that you could be wrong. So that that's all right. I can deal with that. But anyway, yeah. Well, I appreciate your efforts of trying to get us listeners. I really do.
Yeah, and I thought Chuck, I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
So what are we talking about? We're talking about a gentleman by the name of Chase Garvey. Well, I can't call him a gentleman anymore because he's dead. He killed himself after shooting 4 people and wounding 3.
When did this happen?
Just a few days ago in Kentucky.
Oh, I heard they got some damn good chicken there.
Yeah,
Kentucky
well,
Fried.
yeah. Don't believe the hype.
But
I'm
sorry. That was a really
Mr. Garvey. Okay. Mr. Garvey was a person who lured a 13-year-old for sex on Facebook, or not Facebook, but Snapchat or whatever the fuck the social disease media was. He was caught. However, he was instead of being sentenced to prison, he was given 5 years of probation. After violating that probation, where he should have been put in jail for the remainder of his sentence, he was given 30 days in jail. A few days ago, he killed 4 people and wounded 3. And then after a chase from the police, he ended up shooting himself, where he lost his life later in the hospital.
Sounds like the spiral that it was in. Couldn't pull himself out of it.
Yep.
We're in a tailspin here. We're going down.
He should not have been on probation.
Did our justice system fail us on that one, Chuck?
Well, I think that, and I think that maybe with the proper guidance in the criminal justice system, maybe with some life coaching or something like that, and a little bit more consideration instead of just looking at this person as a number. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they would have, maybe somebody along the line would have said, thank you. I don't know what the hell sets people off, but.
And that's what they do. They look at everybody as a number. They look at everybody as a number, and the judge saying, you know what? I don't want to deal with this person no more. Just go ahead and do 30 days. This is your second offense. You should be doing 5 years, but just do 30 days and you'll be okay. Without no counseling, without nothing.
Yeah, and then you got judges and everybody else, prosecuting attorneys, jailers sitting there.
Everybody.
Pressuring the people that are bringing down sentences and saying, hey, don't fuck with my jail. I'm at almost a max population right now.
It goes down. You're right.
Gonorrhea, herpes, syphilis, marked with a COVID-22 out there that just started popping up, and we don't want your motherfuckers to come in our jail. You understand? You understand?
No, I don't understand. The only thing I understand is if this motherfucker had been in prison for the 5 years, these people would have been alive.
Yep.
That's the only thing I understand.
Somewhere along the line, we got the Department of Corrections shouldn't be called corrections if they're not correcting behavior.
You're absolutely right. But that's beside the point. He didn't even make it there.
Misnomer, and I will agree with you wholeheartedly.
And he didn't even make it there.
But
went to county jail
he didn't even make it there.
He went to county jail for 30 days after when he was on probation, a 5-year joint suspension, which means that you get caught again, you go to jail for 5 years, you go to prison.
Well, whatever the fucking plan was for this guy, the system, but this is was he a legal alien?
No.
No, he was a citizen.
He was a citizen.
Okay. That's another thing I think that's because there's tons of this shit that happens all over the place and very rarely gets talked about in mainstream media. And I don't know, or any kind of shit like that. You really got to go to the actual location where the news is happening, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Needles, all that shit to find out what's going on. Nobody in America knows, except for the people that are connected to Needles somehow, knows about that fire y'all had.
That's
know what I mean?
You're right.
Didn't exactly make national news. That's fine. We don't care.
I would have said that a Jewish space laser tried to nuke us. That probably would have been totally fucking missed.
It was a UFO.
All right, Chuck.
Totally fucking missed. All right.
All right. Talk to you later, man.
Thanks, Chuck.
928-476-0331. 928-476-0331 is the number. Let's see. Carl has this to say: caught, given 5 years probation, kills people, needs more gun control. These people are beyond help at this point. He goes on to say this man had deep, troubling issues, should not have been allowed access to a firearm or even been on the streets, but instead of addressing that, they're going after the guns. Think of the children. Yes, think of the fucking children. Lock the goddamn pedophile up.
Right.
It was a binary set solution. Keep the fucking criminal on the street. He's going to crim.
Yep. That's right.
Lock the criminal up, and guess what? Well, fine. Let him do crimes in prison.
Yep.
Criminals are going to do crimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what kind of laws. I don't care what kind of prohibitions you put on them. They're going to commit crimes. If you have your heart set on committing a crime, guess what? You're going to commit the crime.
Yep.
You need to be punished. You need to go to prison. If it's a violent crime, you need to go to prison for a long time, preferably to the point where your end meets at the end of a rope. I'm beginning to think the death penalty is a viable option for even some lesser crimes, Henry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, other countries get it right.
I don't know about that. But here's the thing. We've got people who go out there and rape multiple children. They get light sentences. Time after time after time after time after time.
Yep. Yep.
If he had been off the streets, those people would be alive today.
It's that simple.
If illegal aliens, especially the criminal illegal aliens, and Chuck brought this up, so you know what? I'm going there. It's illegal aliens. The criminal illegal aliens, the ones that were let out of prison to come to the United States and let roam free.
Mm-hmm.
If they weren't allowed here, people would be alive.
Right.
People here would be alive.
Mm-hmm.
If we were tough on crime, San Francisco would be a completely different place.
Oh, hell, San Francisco would be as beautiful as it was back in the early 80s, late 70s.
We wouldn't have long-time franchises like McDonald's, like In-N-Out, like Walgreens, Walmart,
Pack them up, and
stores,
leave 'em.
packing up and leaving town because they can't keep anything on the shelves long enough to actually sell it.
Right. People walk out with it without paying. They can't afford to stay in business.
All it does is cost that company and an insurance company money, which raises costs, which accounts for inflation.
Which makes, you lose your business to your town. What a beautiful town San Francisco used to be. I remember visiting San Francisco with my daughter when she was little. She's 51 years old now. When she was when she was 10 years old, maybe 40 years ago.
You want to think about the children? Think about the children of those employees that no longer have a job.
Yeah, exactly.
You want to think about the children? Think about the children who have lost everything because a gang of criminals
run their town,
ran through and murdered mom and dad because a drugged out asshole died 1,000, 2,000 miles away. I'm talking about the Summer of Love.
But that was mostly peaceful.
Fuck off with that shit.
Exactly.
I like calling it the ironic name of the Summer of Love. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. The mostly peaceful protests.
Yeah.
Because it's completely ironic.
Moronic.
Ironic. Well, it was moronic. Yes, it was. But the name is ironic. We cannot live as a society when the lawless, are in control.
Right.
We cannot have a society when the people we elect to uphold and protect us refuse to do their jobs.
That's right. But Chuck, you were there during the Summer of Love. We
cannot have society when you hold the leash of the people that are sworn to do that job and prosecute them for doing their job. You can't have society. You have chaos. You have anarchy. You have destruction of civilization right down to its roots. Do people really want the idea of Escape from New York kind of scenario? Because that's what it's turning into.
Escape from San Francisco.
Escape from LA, escape from New York,
Yep.
Escape from the inner cities.
Yep.
Go ahead, try to reserve a U-Haul in California.
Can't. You just plan on sharing one with somebody that's already got it reserved a year ahead of time.
Or get a hold of somebody who's stupid enough to move to Arizona. It's like, if you're swapping places, just use their U-Haul to get the fuck out.
Oh my gosh, they'd pay you to bring it back.
Yeah, they would.
That's what I do. Get a job driving U-Hauls back to California.
They won't do it.
Nobody's moving to California.
Nobody's moving to California.
They're moving out in droves. I just saw a house for rent in Huntington Beach, California for $7,750 a month.
Peaceful but fiery protests.
Most places in Huntington Beach, Orange County, are $4,000 to $6,000 a month to rent a house.
Guys, I bleed red. However, ain't no way Trump is getting my vote this go around. I voted for build the wall. Mexico pays for it, but I'll never have rapists. We'll have the rapist if Trump would okay, whatever. Oh, promises kept.
Okay.
Well, all right. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. 928-476-0331 is the number if you want to join in the conversation.
Well, you could vote for the because that's promises kept.
Yeah. You weren't here for the Great Reset discussion.
Okay.
Do you remember when the term the Great Reset came in?
I don't remember when, but I remember the term, yeah.
It's right there, dead smack in the middle of COVID.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's when people started going, was this planned?
Mm-hmm.
Was this organized?
You think?
I think so.
I do too. I totally thought that from the beginning.
Yeah, but that kind of set everybody's teeth on edge. You go, huh? Great Reset. We were doing fine.
Yeah, exactly.
All we got to do is drop the COVID nonsense and go back to work, and everybody be fine. We didn't. We kept going, and then all of a sudden we are now. We have the level of homelessness we had at the Great Depression.
Well, Trump was doing too well. They had to do something. I'm sorry if that's a a conspiracy theory, but
I don't know. But it's all stupid.
Yep.
And now we have extremely high prices.
Yep.
Let's see. What am I paying per day for electrical usage? I'm paying $5.93 a day for electricity.
Okay. So that's $180 a month.
More than that. That's close to $300.
How much did you say a day?
$5.93 a day.
Okay. That's $60 for 10 days. That's it's $180 for 30 days.
Math is racist. Fuck off.
I'm sorry if I'm the master racist.
Right. Yeah. Right now I have approximately $80 on my account because I do the pay as you go.
Mm-hmm.
$80 will last me 13 days.
Okay.
Before I have to put another $50 on it. And by the way, if that account balance goes below $50, they call me at 6:30 in the morning.
Okay. So you know what to do.
Yeah. Feed them more money.
Mm-hmm.
Feed them more money that I don't get to spend on things like food.
Mm-hmm.
Feed them more money like I don't get to spend on things like a vacation.
Well,
feed them more money so I don't get to buy things like medication.
Okay.
Feed them more money so I am more broke than ever before.
Okay. Now, do you remember a month ago, during the debates, when some asshole said that groceries have gone up from $100 to $120? Bullshit.
They've gone up from $100
to almost $300
to $350.
Yeah. Yep.
I had one bag of groceries coming home from the store yesterday.
Yep.
It was $100.
Yep.
It was $100. And this is just
in order to live, what I do is tomorrow morning is when the newspaper comes out with the sale ads. And now the newspaper's $2.25. It used to be 75 cents. Now it's $2.25. I got to spend $2.25 to get the sale ads. I go over all the sale ads, the Friday specials, oh God, what is that called? When the not cyber deals, but the where you got to
okay.
You got to download them. You got to download the savings, and I do that with both Smith's and Safeway, and then I go Friday morning, and I do my shopping, and I save half of what groceries cost me. I literally save half, sometimes more.
Yeah.
Because I live off of by what's on there. You know, it might not be the most favorite what I want, but it's something that's going to keep me alive.
Yeah, Red Common has this to say about you, Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Henry's the master racist, Missy's the master debater.
There you go.
Sorry, had to put that in there.
No, that's good.
No.
Digital ads, that's what they're called.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. They're fucking coupons, okay?
They're coupons.
They're coupons designed to go on your phone. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, well, if you don't do it, you're not saving the money.
I understand that, Henry. Other people understand that too. Please, we're not fucking stupid.
A lot of people are, and a lot of people don't use it.
Well, a lot of people don't use it because it's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass.
You know, do you know how many apps I have on my phone just dedicated to different stores? I have a Walmart app.
Mm-hmm.
I have a Safeway app. Mm-hmm. I have a Maverick app. Mm-hmm. I have, oh my God, let's see what else. Oh, Amazon, PayPal, X.
So why are you yelling? You sound like an angry Democrat.
My phone is full of shit.
That's why you don't have any money to pay your electricity.
Because my phone is full of shit?
Yeah.
No, that has nothing to do with my phone being full of shit.
That
means I can't have other things on my phone, like, oh, I don't know, a game I like to play.
Helldivers.
Well, they don't offer it for cell phones yet.
That's a yet.
You heard me. I qualified that weather right. I don't have room for the VA app. But I have all these other store apps that I have to have in order to get their coupons,
right?
Their savings. Hey, Shrug, how you doing? Glad to see you. So, tell me the benefit of wasting a shit ton of time going through their app just to highlight shit that I probably won't use anyway.
Do what you want.
I understand this, but tell me where I am saving my time. Who pays me for my time? This isn't paying me for my time. Okay. Lower your if you're willing to put it on sale, lower your fucking prices. Don't jack it up and then give me 30% off.
That's what they're going to do.
Well, that's exactly what they do.
The people that are frugal shoppers use that.
You're not saving money when they jack up the price just to give you a discount.
Okay. Okay, you know what?
Come on, Henry.
You can spend $30 for a bag of groceries. I spend $15 for that same bag of groceries.
Bullshit.
Okay, that's your story.
No, I'll tell you what. Bullshit. I will bet you bullshit. You and I will go to Safeway next week. Not this week, but next week. I can't do it.
Let's go Friday.
I can't go Friday. I'm busy Friday. I've got appointments. But next week.
Okay.
We'll go next week. We'll go Tuesday next week. You don't have council. You don't have anything going on.
No,
we'll go
not Tuesday. Friday. Friday's the deals. Friday's the deals.
Well, I want to do this on Tuesday so we can compare notes.
Okay, you do it on Tuesday. I'll do it on Friday, and we'll compare notes.
but we have to get the exact same items.
Okay. I'm down with that because Fridays they have the deals, the Friday deals.
I'm saying it's bullshit, but that's okay.
That's I have to stretch every penny I got 3 years ago.
Oh,
I didn't have to stretch every penny I had.
Believe me, Henry, I hear you and I agree with you.
I buy bacon. I buy bacon when it goes on sale for $5 a slab, and that's 24 ounces, and that's on Friday only, and that's not every Friday. When that goes on sale, I buy that.
Yeah, but guess what? I usually don't have time to go do my shopping on Fridays because I'm busy with appointments and other things on Fridays.
Okay.
I have a life. You have a life.
Okay.
Why do I have to block out a particular day of the week, a particular time of the day, and go through a phone app just to save a few fucking bucks?
Okay. Then quit your bitching about spending $30 for a bag of groceries.
Henry, that has nothing to
It has everything to do with it.
It has nothing to do with it.
It has everything to do with it.
With grocery stores overcharging people just to put it on sale.
So pay the full price.
If they can put it on sale one day, they can keep it on sale on a permanent basis and not have to clip coupons.
You know what?
Not have to go through a phone app days in advance.
They're in business for people like you that get pissed off at it and say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. They go, we love people like you. Come in and spend $30.
So you fucking hate the rest of us then. You want the rest of us who do not have time to do this. You want here, the Shrug just got it. It's about tracking your purchases and selling your data. Absolutely 100%.
Okay. They do that when you're on Helldivers too.
No, they don't. They track my time I'm playing Helldivers, not what I buy.
Okay. Yep. What other apps do you get on your saying this is an app? This is an app you can get. This is an app you can get.
Nothing.
Tell me those don't pop up.
They don't.
Okay.
They don't. I go into Helldivers. The only thing that they're telling me to do.
Who cares who's tracking me if I'm saving 50% on groceries?
You're not saving 50% on groceries. That's the thing. Henry, it is a ploy to get you to spend even more money.
You know how much I spent last week? You know how much I spent? I spent less than $20 last week.
You want me to tell you the secret on how to save even more money?
Yeah, pay full price. And
don't spend it in the first place. Don't spend it in the first place.
And bitch about spending $30 on a bag of groceries.
Don't.
I gave you a solution. You don't want to hear the solution because it costs too much time for you.
Henry, you know my schedule. You know my schedule as well as everybody else. In my retirement, I am busier now than I ever was when I was working full time.
So am I. But when I'm bitching and yelling and complaining about it, instead of doing that, I'm downloading digital coupons.
You're downloading digital coupons. You're sitting there. You're spending an hour of time that you could be doing something else enjoyable.
That's enjoyable.
That's
enjoyable. Like playing Helldivers. That's not enjoyable to me.
Well, Henry,
everybody's different.
All right.
I'm not going to. Well, you spend an hour bitching and moaning and complaining about spending $30 on groceries instead of clipping ads where you're going to save $20, but you want to bitch and moan and complain about it for an hour.
Here's what I'll let you do. I will give you my phone number, my login for Safeway, and you can go through and you can mark out all the things I like to buy. And I'll go buy them.
Okay.
And you do the same for yourself. You have fun there. I'll go play Helldivers.
Okay.
And have fun there killing bugs.
Okay.
And not being bothered by, am I going to get 50 cents off for a can of soup that's already costing me $3?
Okay.
I don't find that enjoyable. I find that a waste of time and a waste of my resources.
Okay, then I don't
And
want to hear you bitching about $30 for a bag of groceries. Fuck you.
You will hear me bitch about it until the day I fucking kick off. Matter of fact, I am going to
There's a whole chapter in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous.
I am going to
that says
attack
there is a
speakers to
solution.
your grave.
There
With
is a solution. You don't want to hear a solution.
Recording over and over for infinity, where you will get to hear me bitching about the price of a bag of groceries.
I'm going to come on the show next Tuesday, and I'm going to hold up a bag of groceries that I paid $10 for.
Yeah, good luck with that. I don't trust me. I don't believe that.
I've done it.
Anyway, that's all right. That's okay. You can, like I said, you are correct. You are correct. You can get some really good deals at Safeway on Friday. I'm not gonna deny that. I fucked up. You know the bag of chips that I got.
I know.
That last
you buy
Friday.
2, you get 3 free. You didn't buy 2 and get 3 free.
I bought 2 and I got 1 free because I can't fucking read and I'm
right
retarded.
Because you're retarded.
I admitted it, but yes, you can. And I could have had two more of these bags.
So you could have had a whole bag of groceries, which would have been 5 bags of those for $10.
No. I don't know. I don't remember
yes.
how much.
Yes. They're $4.99. They're $4.99, no tax. So that's 2 bags. That's $9.98. You pay for 2, you get 3 free. There's 5 bags of chips in a bag. You'd be carrying home a $10 bag of groceries. So fuck you.
What are you two riggers talking about? We're talking about buying groceries, son. We're talking about buying groceries.
Sorry, young lady, for the foul language.
I'm not. But you know what? But you know what, Henry? It's time to get off this stupid thing.
It is?
Yeah. It's 10 o'clock. Man. It's 10 o'clock, man.
Oh, yeah, I had council meeting today.
You had council meeting. Well, if you want to continue on, you go right ahead. I'll let you go.
No, I'm good.
I'm
good. I'm going to go play Helldivers.
Yeah, well, Heidi says I'm not worried about the so-called Agenda 2025. Neither am I, because it's a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of
shit. Heidi's her name?
Yeah, Heidi.
Great name, Heidi. Love your name.
Yeah, it's a bunch of shit. It's only designed to be used as a bludgeon by rhinos and the Democrats. So, consider the source where it came from. It came from the Heritage Foundation, which can be completely ignored to begin with, because frankly, it's just a place where conservative bureaucrats go to die. That's Hedley, Hedley. Okay, well, I'm retarded. I can't spell or talk.
You got Heidi's name wrong?
Yes, I got Heidi. Hedley, He. I don't know. Fuck. Call. Never mind. Don't call, because we're going away now. Anyway, join us this Saturday and Sunday for the Mr. Rob Hansen radio program on K2X 1340 AM and 92.9 FM. Of course, you'll be able to catch it on Rumble and Twitter. Those days as well. 3 to 6 p.m. on Saturday, and 2 to 4 p.m. on Sunday. And then, of course, right after that is Recovery from Politics, where, well, we don't really recover from anything. But the last hour,
we do recover.
6 to 7, we do Tri-State Recovery Talk, where we talk about actual recovery. And it's a Mel Brooks joke. Oh, God. Lord have him. Hetty. Okay. I got it now. I'm retarded. But anyway, well, we want to see you there. Make sure you set your time for that. And let's go out there and make the world a better place, because we're sure doing a grand job of that tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, buy a $10 bag of groceries.
Yeah, fuck off with that shit. We'll see you this weekend.
I'm beautiful in my way, 'cause I make no mistakes. I'm on the right track, baby.
be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen. Don't be a drag, just be a queen.
Avast ye scallywags, it's another pirate production. Are you experiencing shortness of breath, erratic heart rates, cold sweats, loss of hair, uncontrollable urges to scream, low testosterone, and the desire to drink soy lattes and color your hair blue? Every time you hear a name, then you may suffer from Trump Derangement Syndrome or TDS. There is a cure for you. Call 1-555-RED-PILL and we will ship you out a bottle of our high dose of reality. Just one dose and all your symptoms will disappear like it was magic. But really, it's science. Our crack team of trained specialists have spent years developing this one-shot pill that will make your life magical again. Side effects may include chest hair growth, the ability to walk by a woman and get her pregnant just by being within 10 feet, getting a job and keeping a job, moving out of your parents' basement, the desire to own a firearm, including high-capacity magazines filled with freedom seeds, lower taxes, and sudden fits of happiness and joy. Call 1-555-RED-PILL. That's 155-RED-PILL today and start living the American dream.